G'day and welcome to Semen Retention. Got a bit of a different episode for you today. Gonna incorporate a bit of video in this one. I'm gonna just manually film it with my phone because I can't be bothered setting up, all those kind of apps that people do reactions to. But let's just have a watch of this video clip. Here in Australia, we have a sport called Australian Rules Football, also known as the AFL, the Australian Football League. It's no different to NFL, no different to the NRL, soccer, football, rugby, whatever you want to call it, basketball. It's all the same sports ball thing, okay? And how does this relate to semen retention, or in your case, semen retention? Well, let's watch the video first, and then we'll talk about a lot of things. All right, so buckle up. We've got a game to watch. Okay, hope you all can see this. Here we go. All right, this is after my team actually lost the footy. I don't really care about footy anymore, but this is the team that I follow, called the Melbourne Demons. Okay, so if you couldn't really hear what was going on there was a man, a fully grown adult, older than me. Judging by his face, he looks probably about 50s, I'd say. Maybe late 40s, I don't know. He's over 40, that's for sure. And the game is finished. This team has lost the game, and it was a bad loss against a team that last year were very bad, but this team came out and they beat the team. What's new? One team loses, one team wins. Is that a new concept in sport? No. Okay. So what's this guy doing? He's getting angry, really angry. He goes over the top of the stands and he starts abusing the players. Okay. All right. Now, I could show you a lot more. Let's just have a quick look at one more video, and then we'll dive very deep into this with what I want to say in regards to semen retention. Okay, this is not at the game. This is at a separate kind of instance, a different game, same sport, but it doesn't matter. This would happen in basketball, cricket, whatever. Let's have a look at these players, these fans on their journey home after the game. So the game's already finished, everyone's going home, and let's watch them. All right, ready? Let's go.
Not simple. More than you. More than you? Mate, I'm simple, mate. I'm fucking simple. What? You trying to start shit with the same? No, I'm not starting no shit. I'm just responding to what you're saying. Good one, four eyes. Good on you, mate. Oh, we're getting fucking four eyes now. Whoa, go. How old are you, cunt? Can't even fucking look at. How old are you? Woo. Ridiculous. Up the pies, 2023. MVP team. Great. When's the last final? Mate, we're 10 years away.
All right, not really much there. If you couldn't hear it, basically a lot of swearing, a lot of provoking on their way home. Really immature kind of NPC. If you don't know what an NPC is a non-playable character. It basically means that you haven't had some sort of spiritual awakening, so you're walking through life being controlled by everyone else. Because you don't have an understanding of yourself, you don't have empowerment of yourself, you are literally a non-playable character, you're just a background figure in this illusion we call the Matrix. Okay, and what happens is that we have these guys losing their shit over a sports ball game, okay? All right. Now, I could get into some other videos where actually people have been physically abusing each other, like violence, and there have actually been incidences where people have died because of this behavior. So we're talking about people that have actually died in reality because of a sports ball result, a sports ball decision, a sports ball, culture, whatever. Who cares? At the end of the day, this is all. It's all an illusion. So let's get into a few things, okay? Imagine being such a delusional moron that like I'm going to use the AFL as an example, but you can apply this to basketball, cricket, tennis, soccer, whatever, okay? This is it. This is it. You guys ready? Imagine being such a delusional moron or loser or idiot or fool. I don't know how many other ways I can say this. That you think that the AFL or any sport is more than just an entertainment industry sponsored by gambling, alcohol, and other industries that keep consumers locked into a lower level of being, thus being an NPC, docile, submissive slave, who can be pushed around by the advertising, overpriced fees and food and all that kind of stuff. Like we're talking about paying $10 for something that's going to kill you, like $20 for a simple thing that you could make with $5 yourself. They're willing to accept these fees and all these like terrible foods and drinks and alcohols and poisons, and everyone's vaping and smoking cigarettes and on other illicit drugs, what I'm talking about. And they're willing to accept all that for the experience of sports ball. How grand, how amazing. Okay, now let's get into another point. You think that what's this experience, yeah? They're all going into an arena. Let's say there's 70,000 people inside an arena watching this sports ball event. And in Australia, we have arenas where that can be the amount of people watching one game, like 70,000, sometimes up to 100,000 people watching one game. So, look, it's entertaining when you treat it like entertainment and you know it's fake, you know it's an illusion, but you can join in with the kind of crowd thing. But the thing is that this isn't a place you want to be in anymore. People are getting so vicious. They're becoming tribalistic for their teams and their ideologies of what these sports ball events are. They think it's something of a lifestyle. But the reality is that your energy, like your actual internal energy, is being harvested by the elites and high-paid sports stars / actors, because they're the same thing. They're sports professionals, but they're also actors. They know how to fake when someone's hit them. They know how to fake falling on the ground. They know how to fake kicking the ball the wrong direction and pretending that they made a mistake. But it's not a mistake. It's all a scripted circus show for you to be involved in and be entertained by. And the result is that the elites and these actors and these sports stars, they become richer. You stay poor, and the circus still runs, whilst your concept of reality remains in a predictable, programmable state, and you will never have an awakening to the realization that it is you who actually holds the power, and that power resides within. And once you realize that, that is when you actually win in life. You don't win watching other people win. That's called living vicariously. You don't feel joy from seeing the team you support win. That's a fleeting moment. That is just, that's being supportive, but it's not something that actually impacts you. At the end of the day, your sports team means nothing. It's not a culture. It's not a way of life. It's a myth and it's an illusion. And you, especially like these degenerate AFL supporters that are getting angry and upset over results and, arguing and being violent and killing each other like I won't use the word, but the R word, like, let's get it started in here. Anyway, that's a bit of a weird thing. Yeah, anyway, so it's a myth and illusion, and you, like these degenerate AFL fans, are just really stupid. You may as well start screaming at Santa Claus for not giving you the gifts you wanted for Christmas. Because these sports events are just as real as the bullshit that you believed when you were a kid. Like Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, and all this kind of other stuff. It's all bullshit, guys. Stop putting your energy into these events. Stop putting your energy watching other people, other men, win at life. Like, what kind of level of perversion or kuma or wanker type status do you need to have in order to vicariously live through men achieving things in their lives whilst you get emotional about a pre-scripted sports ball game? Like, do you understand how ridiculous this is? Do you understand how devoting your time to these events and thinking that it matters is just a way of coping with the fact that you are unhappy with yourself? Why aren't you out there playing that sport yourself? Why aren't you out there like going and doing your own like activities and creating something yourself? Like, why is it always you're getting absolutely plastered, which in Australia means drunk, and you get, you're emotional, which is that's just number one sign of a kuma, someone that can't retain their seed, gets emotional about things. Yeah, literally, just grow the fuck up, you fucking moron. Like, this is real world, yeah? This is the real world. And you're watching these games. I can understand someone, I'll give someone up to their mid-20s to care about these games because they probably didn't know the mechanics of the industries, and they didn't know that the alcohol companies, the gambling companies, the car companies, the cryptocurrency companies, the banking companies, the communication telecom companies, the internet companies, the clothing companies, blah, blah, blah. They didn't know that all those fast food, whatever companies are the reasons why this televised and mass scale event even exists. It's a business, guys. It's not a real thing. It's an illusion. It's fake. Yeah, and I hate to break it to you as well, the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight was also fake. Oh, sorry. Did you not think that? Oh, wow. You really are a special someone, aren't you? All right. I feel like I've dug my claws in and I've torn these NPCs apart now, okay? So let's just chill out for the rest of the video and just and think, what can we learn about something like this? Well, what we can learn is that we can realize that a lot of things are illusions and fake. A lot of things require an exterior kind of framework around them to create the reality of something more important than what they are. Let's use a musician, for example. Let's use a famous musician, okay? A modern day musician signed to a major label, they're going to have a whole identity, aesthetic, color coding, sound, like a ideology, kind of belief system. So let's use someone obvious. Let's go with Beyonce, okay? Beyonce, black woman, started off kind of just soul, funky, kind of classic African American kind of music, which is kind of what you expected when you first saw her. Little did we know that she grew up in Texas and was probably surrounded by white people her whole life and lived quite a rich kind of white person's life. But once she signed herself over to the music industry, she became a figurehead. And then she starts representing the new wave kind of feminist movement, the whole I'm an independent woman, like I'm a queen, slay, yes, all that kind of stuff. If you like it, put a ring on it kind of energy. And the thing is that she's put there to push forward a narrative and almost like a life script. A life script, okay? What's a life script? Well, it's a way of, if you talk about coding in computers, we use scripts to put these codes into play, so then these certain processes occur and therefore these softwares and other programs can work and run how we want them to run. So a life script is like the same. We push that onto an individual and then we watch these females, in case of Beyonce fans, become strong independent women. But unlike Beyonce, they didn't find a Jay-Z. And they didn't find a daughter. They just became single, and maybe they're single mums, and maybe they're bitter at men for their whole life, and maybe they're only going to vote for Democrats, and maybe they're going to, never see through these illusions. All right, let's use another example. Let's go with like something on the other side just to kind of, balance it. Let's go with Donald Trump. Okay, so Donald Trump, he is also a person pushing forward a life script. So for MAGA fans, the whole thing for them is about, America, like being very patriotic. They would be carnivorous. They watch Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan pushes this whole kind of carnivore diet ideology. They like McDonald's. They like their beers. They like men being manly and watching the sport and the NFL and all that kind of stuff. They, are usually intolerant to things that don't fit within Western ideologies. They are chasing money. They usually turn a blind eye to kind of criminal activities when it suits their political belief. So at the end of the day, these people are going down a path, especially men, where they're just going to be kind of degenerate. They're going to be lacking the kind of critical forefront thinking, and being able to say, look, these are just kind of illusions. These are structures put in place by companies. Like, for example, Donald Trump, when he first got elected, before he even signed in, the day after he got elected, he posted a photo with him and RFK with McDonald's. And this is ironic because RFK is all about the health of America and stuff. And their first day, Donald Trump, almost in like a humiliation ritual kind of way, posts a photo with him and RFK showcasing that, we can make healthy Americans tomorrow instead, after our meal of McDonald's. And like, there was just a way of just spitting in the NPC's faces, just being like, yeah, look, you fell for it. You got us elected. I don't really care who won the US election. I think Donald Trump as a character, as an illusion, as like a personality within this matrix is kind of funny to watch. So he's like interesting as a means of entertainment. But if he were to have lost that election, or if anything else kind of happens as far as like, the rest of the trajectory of his life goes, I'm not emotionally attached to it. I don't care. Like, it doesn't affect me. So I don't care. So that's what a real retainer does. A real retainer isn't attached to the illusions of the Matrix. A real retainer doesn't see his hero as someone above him. A real retainer understands that once they've cultivated that self-worth and that growth, they don't need to look up to these icons. They don't need to have a sports team. They don't need to be part of a community. They don't need to be anything apart from being here in the moment, in this present time, in the now. So I hope that was a lot to kind of take in, because this is an illusion that a lot of men fall for. This whole trying to find an identity. You know? It's identity, it's tribes, it's an illusion, guys. Peace.